What's up, internet people? Good afternoon. This is my next project. I've been working on it for a while here. I replaced the complete floor in this car. Mind you, with full dash in it, full headliner, all the glass, and original paint. So, a little more challenging. Also, that's why you gotta love a TIG welder. Don't get splatter anywhere. Basically, the only piece I reused out of the floor was the wheel tub, the wheel spare tire holder. You know, from there, it's complete. All brand new. The firewall was not replaced, was not in bad shape. That color you're seeing is its color, it's not rust. So, now I get to continue forward with this beauty. So, stay tuned guys, later. Here's the bottom, it's hard to tell. I just undercoated it. So you can see all the seams. Can't see no weld. No spots of weld. All the way up here along the wheelhouse. Came out really nice. I think I need a light for my camera here. Yeah. All undercoated. All seam sealed. All very nice. When I'm done with this thing, ain't nobody gonna be able to tell I put a whole floor in it. Besides down here, we're gonna try and match the original paint. I don't know if you could see it, but the back side of the pinch weld, you could see the back of the welds. So, well, she's ready to get on a frame. And speaking of frame, frame's right here. Fully powder coated. Rear end's powder coated. Frame rails. Frame itself actually. The control arms. The coil springs. The spindles. The steering components. So yeah, here she is. Disc brake front. All CPP product. Got a couple of brake lines in there. Those are factory CPP ones. I don't like them that much, but he doesn't really want to redo them, so here we are. I also modified the cross member because this has a overdrive transmission. Just some plating and a standard bracket that I just moved. Here we go. You got to get this and that all together. Later. What's up guys? Got some progress here on the Nomad. About to be getting together here. So pretty much where I left it. Got the frame on it. So now I'm gonna bolt up this 350 Vortex small block to a 200 R4 trans. Okay, it's pretty simple, but I'll go through a couple steps with you guys. So here we go. All right guys, first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna get some trans fluid. And at least dump a quart into here. And it'll take your minute. You'll slowly have to do it and it'll bubble out. And then you use this transmission assembly goo. Okay? And you smear it on the outside, the part that goes into the transmission on the torque converter. So, you're gonna lube this inside and out with the assembly goo, and I'll show you how we slide it in. Make sure you fill it up, 1 full quart. Alright guys, I got it filled up with fluid and I got the assembly goo on it. Now I want you to notice these notches here and here, okay? A lot of people screw this up. Actually, let me get a flashlight. And you need 3 clicks. You have one spine, you have the second spine, and then if you could see in there, you gotta look closely, but you see that little tooth right there? And then there's a little tooth right there. That's your trans pump. You need to make sure that gets clicked in there. That's mostly how people break transmissions. So I'm gonna click it in here and then we'll continue. Alright, here we go. Sometimes you will make a mess, but you want to try and do it as fast as possible, but it's more important that you do it correctly and you get that pump drive correct. Now feel 1, feel 2, just keep jiggling. Okay, and you always want to double check your depth. Put a straight edge here, I'll show you. Straight edge around here. You want to measure to the boss that bolts to the flex plate. I got about 1 inch, which is, if you have anything less than that, give it a couple more jiggles and see if it happens. So I think we're good. Alright guys, I'm going to install the flex plate here. Just a couple things. You see these bumps, that's for the torque converter. So you want those bumps away from the engine block, okay? And you see the pattern here. Now it's pretty self-explanatory. There's going to be a alignment dowel on the crank right here. So you just line that up, you slowly suck it down. I torque it to 30 to start with blue Loctite and with star washers. Now once you do that, you torque it to its final spec of 65 foot-pounds. So here we go. Alright, I'm about to slide these together. Okay, you have a center that goes into the crank, and then you have these 2 dowels. Don't ever force it. The straighter you are, the luckier you're going to get of it coming together. Never use the bolts. You want this thing to sit flat with no bolts sitting in it. Alright, so here we go. Okay, now that we got the trans and motor combo together, you want to make sure your torque converter spins freely. Yeah. You know, and then there's going to be 2 different sets of holes here. You want to make sure the holes line up evenly and the bolts go in easily. And on those, you're also going to want to use Loctite. And I want to say, I'll put it on the screen. I'll have to look it up depending on the size, because I believe these are metric. So I'll go ahead and do that. Alright guys, got everything here together. Motor and trans. Got the motor mounts on it and the trans mount on it. So we're going to slap it here into the Nomad. What I usually do, I can do this by myself, no front end obviously. Just just put a little blanket down and put a jack with a block. And then this thing already pre-fit before. I made the motor mounts, and I also made the trans mount. So, should fit like a glove. So, here we go. Alright guys, let me give you a little update here on the Nomad. I got the engine and transmission in. I just wanted to show you the underside of this. This frame, arms, springs, everything's completely powder coated. It is a crate block Vortec 350, 200 R4 trans. The bottom's been all lizard skinned. Full replacement on the floor on this. Made the brackets for, you know, obviously made the transmission mount, made the motor mounts. We have the power steering box in here. Brake lines, obviously the rear end. So it's looking really nice under here. Obviously that nice fuse pan. Disc brakes. Race approved flex plate, just in case you want to go have some fun. General Motors of USA. Alright, so I think I'm going to start on accessories, maybe throw the headers in next. Later. Alright guys, got the headers in. At least test fit. I just wanted to make sure everything clears and everything's, you know, headers are always tight, but they fit pretty good. That brake line's gonna have to get reworked. I didn't do that brake line, so it's a little too close to the collector for my taste. So there's that side, and this side fits pretty good. I've test fit them before, but you never know with change, so I had to notch a little here and a little off the motor mount here. But you know, usually the problem's here, and it fits great. And another thing guys, you will save your life if you go get these ARP header bolts, because they're 5/16 head. I don't know how tight you could see that is there, but these bolts being 5/16 are gonna save you dramatically for getting a good tool on it. Usually the problem is you can't get a socket on it, you can't get a box end on it, so you end up stripping the bolts or they don't get tight enough and your exhaust leaks. So always get the 5/16 ARP bolts. You'll love me for it. So I think that's it for the day. Later guys.